If I put a strip in the background, I copy paste them without any block transitions, just so this always stays on the screen. If I then put a gradient in the background, I just need to place down the trigger, rotate it a little bit, and then choose two colors, like a warm pink and then blue. Is that gonna work? That looks pretty cool. So this is gonna be the background to the level, but I'm gonna have an effect that scales these squares down so you can see the background through it. Just gonna show the gradient behind it and make the background look cool. But first we have to put out all of these squares, which is very object consumptuous. Is that a word? Consumptuous. We have 3,500 objects in the level right now. 3,400 are these squares. Just should be super simple. We just add these to a group, which is number 6. And then we're going to set up a little rotating pattern. We're going to use stars just because that's my go-to object. We'll give this group number 7, and then we will set up an object, 5 objects above, which can be number 8. Set up number 9 just to lock onto the x-axis for the entire duration of the level. Here's how I can visualize it, right? We have 2 points. This one is the object that's going to rotate around this object right here. It's going to go around in a circle like this. We rotate 8 around number 7, which is the center, and we can do this like 10 times. In the background, we have these squares, right? It's not going to be exact on here, but as this object is passing by, say this square, for example, there's an area scale trigger, which is going to shrink this object inwards. Oh, but there's also a square here. Well, this object isn't exactly close to it, but it's still within the range, so it's going to scale in just a little bit less. It's kind of a ripple effect where this is the strongest point and somewhere over here is going to be the weakest. Then following the same length principles, there's going to be an area tint trigger and a purple area rotate trigger, which are going to very subtly change the color and rotate these objects based on this whole distance thing where this is the weakest and this is the most strong. We set up these objects, which are group number 6, to be area scaled down at first. We're going to put a decent length on this, so it takes up most of the screen. It's like 10 blocks in front and behind the player. We want to make the center of this effect, the one that's actually affecting the blocks, to be number 8, and the target of the blocks which are actually going to be changed is number 6. Just going to set these to a different scale here. Now you can see that the squares are appearing in the background around where the star is located.